When working with Google Documents for your classroom, it's better to work from your own email list that compiles all of your students' emails. And so that's what this is. This is going to be a template for email manifest that I'll post on the web page. Some of the components we'll go through is the most eye-catching feature is the fact that there's a pancake astronaut. That's just random. It makes me giggle, so I've included it. You can certainly delete it or add your own image or find something more curious to put there if you like. In the top right-hand corner, there's a list for copy numbers. While we are trying to go as much paperless as possible, there are still times when you need to run copies. And this can help you keep track of the exact number you need to print. Now that can be either the number of students you have. For example, let's say you have a class of 23. We may be inclined to print 25 copies because it just feels better to print 25 than it does 23. That's actually not the kind of thinking we should have. We should print exactly 23, maybe 24 if we require one extra copy for ourselves, but we shouldn't constantly keep rounding up. But if you do manage to go all paperless, but there are some students who have difficulty with accessing technology regularly, maybe class 1 has consistently 3 to 4 students who need hard copies. For myself, I have two classes. One class, well, I have more than two classes, but I have two classes that require me to print copies. I have in one class 3 students who don't regularly have computers, and in another I have 4. So I know that I should keep about 7 copies on hand every time. Alright, so going through this, so that's what the copy number is for, is to help you stay organized on the exact number of copies you need to print. Now over here there's the title of it, 2012, 2013, these are the email manifests. Now since this is going to be a digital document, I can do a lot of cool things with it. For example, make bookmarks and hyperlinks within the document. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to make a bookmark here at the top of the page, and this one I am going to call Home. So I've clicked on the bookmark tab in Insert. If you go to Insert, select Bookmark, and then enter it in Home, and I add it. Now there's a bookmark there. You can't really see it. But now I'll be able to add a hyperlink. So if I click on the hyperlink and I select Home, now it's connected. It's not very dramatic to select it here because it's on the same page, but I've done it for consistency's sake. But if you notice, if I go down here and I add the hyperlink and I go Home, I can hit Control and it'll jump to the top. Now the same will be true for this. Now I can go to class 1 and I'll add a bookmark, and I'll just say class 1. Now, you're not allowed to use spaces in bookmarks for some reason. Now when I'm here at the top of the page, I'll hyperlink to it, to class 1, and I'll say OK. Now again, it's not very dramatic, but if I go here and I make a bookmark for class 2, and see, I saved myself the trouble of scrolling, and right here I'll add a hyperlink to this document, class 2. Now I can just jump all the way down. So it's like a digital index. You want to do that all the way through the document. I'll actually set it up like that, but if you use this template you're going to find yourself having to wrestle with some of the format. Now let me tell you the other components in here. So class 1, for me that's going to be called A1. Class 2 is going to be called AP-A2. So whatever the class name is, you put it there. Again, the number of students here to help you just stay organized and keep things in order. And here is where, in this column here, the left-hand column, you're going to want to put the student's name and the student's email. For example, you got Joe grab a sandwich, and the student email on that would be joe.g14@student.parishepiscopal.org. And I could make that a hyperlink, so if ever I needed to just email him directly to the school account, I could just operate from this template. Once I've got all of the students' emails entered here, then I just select the emails and I just put the email list here. So this side, the right side, is nothing but student emails. It doesn't have their name attached to it. And so for Google Documents, if I need to share a document with class 1, I'll select all of these, the names in this column. I'll copy it, paste it into the shared window, and instantly blast out all of that assignment to all of my students in that one class. So this list compiled will help me send Google Documents with the greatest amount of ease. Now, the best way to do this, I made mine personally. I went into FA Web and I slowly cut and pasted things in, but what would be best is if you went into FA Web and just cut and pasted all of the students' names in this column from the attendance list. And then if you're so inclined, you can type it out yourself, but what you should do is just allocate a little bit of time at the beginning of the class and have each student come in and say, all right, Joe, I got your name here, come in here and enter your email address underneath it, and just have each student come find their name and enter their email address, and then you can just select each one and move it over to the group list. Okay, I know this sounds all very complicated, but I assure you this is the best way to send documents through Google Docs, is through your own organized email list.